Hey, what's up guys? Steve here. And today we're going to take a look at the 50 highest selling 1987 through 1994 Michael Jordan basketball cards from the Fanatics weekly auction that ended on August 4th. And we'll kick today's list off at number 50 with this 1991 Skybox Team USA 2 featuring Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Magic Johnson with card number 545. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it sold for $20.40. Up next at number 49 is Michael Jordan's 1990 Skybox, card number 41. This was a PSA 9 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $20.40. Coming in at number 48 is this 1990 Hoops Michael Jordan, card number 65. This was a PSA 9 that received 5 bids, and it also sold for just over $20. Up next at number 47 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Hoops All-Star MVPs with card number IX. This was a PSA 9 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $21.60. Coming in at number 46 is this 1990 Collegiate Collection North Carolina Michael Jordan, card number 93. This was a PSA 9 that received 9 bids, and it also sold for $21.60. Up next at number 45 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Upper Deck, card number 23. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it sold for $22.80. Coming in at number 44 is this 1993 Ultra Michael Jordan, card number 30. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it sold for $22.80. Up next at number 43 is this 1992 Ultra Michael Jordan, card number 27. This was a PSA 9 that received 5 bids, and it sold for $22.80. Up next at number 42 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Upper Deck Award winner hologram with card number AW1. This hologram was in a PSA 8 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $22.80. Coming in at number 41 is this 1991 Hoops USA Michael Jordan, card number 579. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it also sold for $22.80. Up next at number 40 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Stadium Club with card number 1. This was a PSA 9 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $24 even. Coming in at number 39 is this 1993 Topps Gold Blank Back Michael Jordan, card number 64. This card that was ungraded but authenticated by NBA received 10 bids, and it sold for $26.40. Coming in at number 38 is this 1992 Skybox Michael Jordan, card number 31. This was a PSA 9 that received 5 bids, and it sold for $28.80. Up next at number 36 is this 1993 Skybox Premium Michael Jordan, card number 45. This was a PSA 9 that received 9 bids, and it sold for $30 even. We get our first basketball card from the 1980s at number 35, with Michael Jordan's 1989 Hoops base card with card number 200. This was an SGC 9.5 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $31.20. We're sticking to the peak of the junk wax era at number 34, with Michael Jordan's 1990 Fleer with card number 26. This was a PSA 9 that received 8 bids, and it sold for $32.40. Coming in at number 33 is this 1993 Ultra All-NBA Michael Jordan, card number 2. This was a PSA 9 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $34.80. Up next at number 32 is this 1993 Ultra Famous Nicknames Michael Jordan, card number 7. This was a PSA 8 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $38.40. Coming in at number 31 is Michael Jordan's 1988 Foreigner NBA Estrellas with card number 22. This was a PSA 9 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $39.60. And kicking off the top 30 of today's list is this 1992 Impel Olympic Cards USA Men's Basketball Team card featuring Michael Jordan with card number 18. This was a PSA 10 that received 6 bids, and it also sold for just short of $40. Up next at number 29 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Upper Deck Award winner hologram with card number AW4. This hologram was in a PSA 9 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $45.60. Coming in at number 28 is this 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 452. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for just over $50. We're sticking to the inaugural 1991 Upper Deck basketball set at number 27, with this Magic Johnson versus Michael Jordan with card number 34. This was a PSA 10 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $52.80. Up next at number 26 is this 1992 Topps Michael Jordan, card number 205. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $56.40. Coming in at number 25 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Skybox with card number 39. This was a PSA 10 that received 15 bids, and it also sold for $56.40. Up next at number 24 is this 1992 Topps Michael Jordan All-Star, card number 115. This All-Star was in a PSA 10 that received 13 bids, and it sold for $57.60. Coming in at number 23 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Upper Deck with card number 237. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids, and it sold for $62.40. Up next at number 22 is this 1993 Hoops Michael Jordan All-Star, card number 257. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids, and it also sold for $62.40. Coming in at number 21 is this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 8 that received 14 bids, and it sold for $67.20. And kicking off the top 20 of today's list is this 1992 Impale Olympic Cards Basketball Michael Jordan, card number 12. This was a PSA 10 that received 15 bids, and it sold for $67.20. Up next at number 19 is this 1991 Hoops USA Michael Jordan, card number 579. This was a PSA 10 that received 13 bids, and it also sold for $67.20. Coming in at number 18 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Skybox USA with card number 534. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for just short of $70. Up next at number 17 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Kenner starting lineup. This dribbling variation was in a PSA 8 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $76.80. We're headed back to the 1980s at number 16 with Michael Jordan's 1987 Fleer sticker with sticker number 2. This was a PSA 6 that received 22 bids, and it sold for just short of $80. Coming in at number 15 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 238. This was a PSA 10 that received 21 bids, and it sold for $86.40. Up next at number 14 is Michael Jordan's 1992 Fleer Total D insert with card number 5. This was a PSA 8 that received 15 bids, and it sold for $132. Coming in at number 13 is this 1992 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a PSA 10 that received 33 bids, and it sold for $138. Up next at number 12 is this 1993 Nike Warner Brothers Nice Shoes Indeed Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 10 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $144. Coming in at number 11 is this 1992 Upper Deck Fanimation Michael Jordan, card number 506. This was a PSA 10 that received 18 bids, and it sold for $174. And kicking off the top 10 of today's list is this 1992 Legends Magazine Inserts Gold Michael Jordan, card number 48. This Jordan was in a PSA 9 that received 27 bids, and it sold for $216. Up next at number 9 is Michael Jordan's 1992 Stadium Club with card number 1. This was a PSA 10 that received 40 bids, and it sold for $234. Coming in at number 8 is this 1992 Upper Deck McDonald's Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan, card number CH4. This was a PSA 10 that received 22 bids, and it sold for $252. Up next at number 7 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Ultra Power in the Key with card number 2. This was an SGC 9 that received 26 bids, and it sold for $300 even. Coming in at number 6 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 273. This was a PSA 10 that received 33 bids, and it sold for $324. Alright guys, and before we get to the top 5, I did pull aside 8 bonus cards to share with you today. Most of these literally just missed the top 50. We'll start off with this 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 44. This was a PSA 9 that received 6 bids, and it sold for $20.40. Up next is Michael Jordan's 1992 Ultra with card number 216. This was a PSA 8 that received 6 bids, and it sold for $20.40. For our third bonus card, we get Michael Jordan's 1993 Topps with card number 384. This was a PSA 9 that received 5 bids, and it sold for $20.40. Up next is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 166. This was a PSA 9 that received 7 bids, and it sold for $20.40. And for our fifth bonus card, I ran across this 1994 SP Red Michael Jordan, card number MJ1. This was a PSA 8 that received 6 bids, and it also sold for just over $20. Headed to Series 2 of the 1990 Hoops basketball set for our sixth bonus card. I ran across this team checklist featuring Michael Jordan with card number 358. This was an SGC 9 that received 5 bids, and it sold for $19.20. Up next is this 1992 Topps Gold Michael Jordan, card number 115. This gold parallel was in a PSA 9 that received 5 bids, and it sold for $19.20. And for our eighth and final bonus card, I ran across Michael Jordan's 1993 Skybox Premium Center Stage with card number CS1. This card was ungraded but authenticated by NBA, received 10 bids, and sold for $18 even. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1989 KOS Yugoslavia Michael Jordan, card number 126. This was a PSA 2 that received 25 bids, and it sold for $1,260. Up next at number 4 is this 1993 Ultra Scoring Kings Michael Jordan, card number 5. This was a BGS 9 that received 34 bids, and it sold for $1,500. Coming in at number 3 is this 1987 Market Com Sports Illustrated Michael Jordan, card number 16. This was a BGS 9 that received 47 bids, and it sold for $1,920. Up next at number 2 is this 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 17. This was a PSA 10 that received 24 bids, and it sold for $3,120. And topping off today's list at number 1 is this 1987 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 59. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 44 bids, and it sold for $3,120. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.